Hi, my name is Fred. I'm from Manila, Philippines. I'm glad to make this video because, first of all, I like to make videos, and also because I did more than 1,000 kilometers with my electric scooter, Xiaomi M365, without any major problem. And I want to share my experience with you. Maybe you want to buy the same scooter, and you will maybe be interested in knowing my experience. Sorry, my English is not very good, but I'm trying my best. A few days ago, I met someone in the street with the same scooter, and we were discussing and laughing when he told me he received his scooter in March 2018, and he's still alive today. Let me tell you that riding this scooter in Manila is quite a challenge. At the beginning, most over, because of the traffic, but we get used to it quite easily, and I don't find it too much dangerous because I consider I am a pedestrian, but a pedestrian with two wheels. So I'm taking the sidewalks when it's possible, and of course also the roads when it's also possible, and it's really cool. So the main purpose of this video is explaining what I did, what I changed, what I improved on this scooter, and which problems I had and how I solved them. And also to take you for a ride in Manila, in the places where I'm used to go. First of all, the first point, when you buy the scooter, don't forget to inflate the tires. The scooter comes with a few air into it because of the heat in the container size, I suppose. And if you ride a scooter, you will easily get a flat tire. So don't forget to inflate the tires. Second, I have downloaded my Mi Home application on my smartphone, so I can adjust the settings. I have also downloaded the app M365 Freedom, which allows you to change the firmware. I didn't install the firmware to have more power or speed, but I think because I think they can burn the fuse or something else in the engine or in the battery. So I just installed the one to have the same power during the whole battery life. I think it's called BMS 107. It gives you a good power until 15% remaining battery, but more or less 25% less autonomy on the battery. So it's not recommended if you have long trips before you need to recharge your battery. At the beginning, as it was the rainy season, in Manila, when I started, I was wrapping the food board with plastic in order to avoid rain and water to come inside the battery. Unfortunately, I don't have picture of that, but it was really ridiculous. Actually, this is really not necessary at all. Later, I have ride into water, and you know, in the Philippines, it can be a big shower, and really no panic, no stress. The scooter is waterproof and still works, and perfectly works. The only thing that you need to be careful with is the power button on the dashboard. This one is normally waterproof also, but I don't take the risk with the heavy rains here. So I found a protection which is really well adapted and designed. It's made by Curious Joe. I will put the link in the description. You can find other cool accessories there. They ship to the Philippines and everywhere in the world by post, and it's really easy. I had my first flat tire after around 100 kilometers, but I picked up a metal rod and even the best tire couldn't resist to it. But it was the rear wheel, and of course it's not easy to repair, but still much easier than the front wheel. So I had to remove the disc brake, I had and to repair it with the normal way of repairing, like a bicycle. I had also a front flat tire after 500 kilometers. I guess the tube was quite outworn, so I decided to buy solid tire on AliExpress, and it was quite difficult to put them. I had to heat them for a while and use all my strength. Actually, I really don't recommend to put these solid tires because after a short time I had a problem with the battery. One day the scooter suddenly switched off while I was riding. It was one of the connectors between the two battery cells which had been disconnected. So I suppose it was because of the vibrations on the road, and so the two connectors has been I don't know how you call that, it has been disconnected. I had to open the battery compartment and weld it. It happened to me 3 times in total. So I changed again my tires and put tube tires back on the scooter. But in order to give them more reliability, I've injected slime into the tubes. And since then, I did around 400 kilometers without any flat tire. Like everyone using the scooter, I rapidly faced noise and vibrations with the handlebar. So I bought a silicone patch on internet, but I didn't find very useful and even maybe dangerous. Dangerous because it avoids the handlebar to lock correctly, and thus the handlebar can open when you ride, and you can imagine the following. It happened to me, but fortunately I was riding very slowly. And why not useful? Because actually what makes the noise is the small piece of metal which locks to the other part and not the old part where you put this silicone piece. So I put some grease on this small metal piece and I did the correct adjustments, and finally everything was alright. But you have to adjust quite often. I will say like every 2 weeks if you ride the scooter every day. I also put a patch to protect the rear light wire, but I didn't buy those in silicone you can buy on internet. I just used a simple patch you normally put on the foot of a piece of furniture to protect the wooden floor. It makes it. Also, I had to replace the silicone cap of the battery charger connector, which I purchased with AliExpress. Maybe I was a little bit too rude with it in the beginning, and now the one I purchased is really like the original, and it works perfectly. I think that's all about the scooter from my experience. I'm very glad with the M365, and it changed really my life here in the Philippines, as I don't have to depend of taxi anymore. Yes, sometimes I'm finishing my trip completely wet, but I have a freedom of movement and a sensation of contributing to a better environment. So I hope my experience and this advice will help you. If you hesitate to buy this scooter, I can really recommend it. I think Xiaomi has increased the reliability and fixed the problems with the battery since the beginning. I was one of the first to buy it in September 2017, and since then they have really increased. So don't hesitate to ask me questions in the comments. I will try to answer as soon as possible. And so thanks for watching, and have a safe ride.